Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the Pleasure Dome. Welcome back to Project What TF. Where have I been? It's been about 8 weeks. Wow. Life has been so busy. I haven't been coming and going. I don't know what I've been doing. Yeah, the little car's been brilliant. I've been doing some commuting in her and she's not missed a beat. So mechanically, she's still sorted. She's still working fine. You'll have seen from my previous videos, we've been through it. We've done wheels, we've done tyres, we've done the interior, we've done the cam belt, we've done clutch, we've done the brakes. We've done alternators, we've done many different things, and she's running beautifully. One thing I'm not happy about is the roof. It's old, it's tatty, it's got some holes in it, the window's a bit faded, and it's grey on grey. Don't really like it. So I'm going to fit another one, and I picked up a cheap one off Marketplace, and we'll go over that in a bit more detail in a moment. But let's get this bad boy off, get that new one on. My name's Craig, I'm exhausted. Welcome back. Let's do this. Yeah, I know you shouldn't really need a roof this time of year, but it's the UK, isn't it? So it's nice at the moment, but how long will it last? So we've got to get this sorted. So first thing we're going to do is drop it down and then see if we can get the bad boy off. Right, so we're going to get this T-bar out of the way first because you've got to get to the fittings that are just behind here. So let's get the seats forward. Right, then there's these 3 screws here that you attach the tonneau cover on if you have one. I don't, but they're still there. Right, go easy with these because it screws into the top of the sound bar. It's only into plastic, so you want to strip it. Right, there's plastic fittings on the back here. You saw those when I did the interior, so they are quite fragile, those. And I'm not sure I've got the full complement, so I don't want to go breaking any more. Oh, that's okay. To lift the roof up a little bit just to gain us access to pull this out. Come on. Okay, off the middle, and just this last bit here. Okay, that's cool. Not on very tight, is it? Right, and that drops down there out of the way nicely. Okay, so we can work this back down. Right, so this roof is pretty much held on by these 2 bolts at the end. It's a 13mm spanner. So we'll get on those two undone, get the other 2 undone, and get this bad boy out. Right, let's just loosen these off. Oh, that's tightening. Loosen these off with this ratchet spanner. Jazz this on it. Right, this bracket here, this is where your hardtop hooks underneath, so we'll have to put that back on later. Okay. I'm going to leave that one in there because I don't want the whole thing loose at the moment because I've still got to unclip it from the back. I've not done that yet, so let's just undo these 2. Right, awesome. All right, I'm just going to clip everything from the back now. Oh, crikey. Careful. It's easier to go in this way, I think. 2. It's only 5 of these. Ow, that hurt. Ow. God, then hold a bit of tension and bang against your fingers if you're not careful. So there's 5 of those. Make sure they're unhooked out the way nicely. And then that'll pop up. Oh, okay. Cool, yeah. Yeah, I mean, for some reason, this has just come away. Never seen that come away before. I'm assuming it's due to the temperature because I've never unclipped that roof when it's been this warm before. Just clip it back in before. All right, guys, so here's the new used roof. She's in pretty good condition, no rips or holes. So yeah, needs a bit of a clean, and I'll show you that in a moment, but that's all fine. It's got a bit of wear on the inside, but looks pretty good from the outside, so not too bothered about that. Now, it didn't come with a window in it, so I bought the window separate. We'll talk about that in a moment. But because it had no window in it, it also didn't have any of the metalwork that goes along, the metal strips that go along the back to hold the canvas in place and hold the window in place. So I'll need to reuse that from the one I've got on the car already. So I have to take that off. What I want to do is actually take that one off while it's in one piece, put this on just to check it fits. Should fit, can't see why it wouldn't, but I don't want to take that one that's on the car to pieces, not undoing the strips at the back if this doesn't fit, because that'll leave me with nothing. So yeah, let's get that one off and then put this on, check it fits. Window wise, I bought the window separate. I mean, this cost me like 40 quid, so nice and cheap for what it is in terms of the condition it's in. I wanted the glass window, and I paid £100 for that. That's in really good condition. there's some work to do with the zips to get those to match up and the light, but we'll figure that out as we go. So let's come back to that later. My neighbour Mark's just going to give me a quick lift, getting this off. So I was just undoing the last bolt. Now it should in theory just lift off. So if you put your hand under this bit here, and then probably down here. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Lift straight up and go backwards. Right, so that came off nice and easy. So I'm just going to do a bit of a clean, given the opportunity. While we're at it, you know what it's like. So these bits you don't really get to. Okay, that's good. You guys getting out much? Enjoying the sun? Getting your roof down? Actually looks pretty good, doesn't it? With no roof on it. It's nice and clean. It was warm enough in the UK, never rained. You could leave it off for a while, couldn't you? But or it lived in the garage. It would look pretty good, I think. The roof off. And the T-bar back on. But we're not going to do that, are we? Because it's going to get raining and wet if we do that. And that would be silly. I'll tell you what, the condition's really good. Given this is a water channel, where the water comes, it must have seen plenty of water in its life. Looks in good nick, no rust at all. Make sure that seal's back on. Got it, right, so just reverse the process, pop it in. That's it, that's it, that's the fella. Just in there. That's it. That's it. Right, just put those in loosely. Yes, I know I've missed the bracket off. We'll come back to that. Oh, crikey, Riley. That sounds like it's cross-threaded, doesn't it? Try the bottom one. Okay. Top one again. Oh, not liking that one, are we? I think we'll leave it that for now. Try that in a minute. Right. Steady. So we'll look at this then. Okay. Okay. Helps if you put it down the way. That's it. Okay, that's better. Didn't quite get that right, did I? Okay, that's good. Fits. Got to sort that tab out. Right, okay, so that's there. What's that hitting? Right, so I think the foam is hitting that. So if I push it, it'll go in. And I mean, this foam doesn't fit anyway, does it? So let's just pop that off. I mean, this bit you're not supposed to touch often anyway. So if I can get the old new foam to fit nicely, then that should just drop in. Yeah? Is that supposed to go any further down than that? Oh, we'll find out, won't we? We're supposed to clip it in. Let's clip it on. Oh, you don't get to see this very often, do you? So this big seal that runs on the back, it seals all the way along here on that surface underneath where my finger is, all the way around. Okay, and that keeps the rain out. And I guess then the rain runs down here and out through the door jars. That's where the rain goes. So when it falls into this gap, it runs down that way. So that feels like a good seal, that does. Let's just check it here. Yeah, nice and tight. Yeah, good. Okay. And then when they go in, yeah, okay. Wow, that looks a lot better already. So now the door should close. Let's check carefully. All right, okay. Sits underneath that. Got that tab to sort out. That's a pretty good fit, I think. Still some work to do here, obviously. I think that'll be okay. Go down that gap. Right, and then this side. Again, seal looks all right. All right, okay. Right, it's sitting a little bit there. I think that rain coming down there. Slight gap there. There might cause some wind noise, but well, there's no gap on that bit. But there's a tiny gap there, so don't know. Well, I'm going to go with it and see if we can adjust it later. Okay. But yeah, I've got to obviously bring that around. Once that's plumbed in and it's pulling this tight and it's clean, I'd be happy with that. We can start dismantling the old one and thinking about how this goes back together. Slight mark there in it, but it's better than the old one. Back in. Right, so now I need to prep this, don't I? Because it's still got some old rivets in it. So I'll clip all these bad boys. I've got my drill and I've got myself some new bits. Because my old cheap bits from Amazon. Yeah, not many men on the far, they. I'm going to go to 3.5, I think. So these aluminium rivets are really soft, so they come out really easily. Just take your time. Okay, cool. Now I need to be careful not to drill a hole in the hood itself. Okay. Okay. That's cool. Just this one then. Oh. There's nothing to... Yeah. That's needle. Not sure about that. Should we go in that angle? Oh dear. Okay, cool. Let's make some progress. Oh, yeah, there we go. Through. Right, that's all that off in terms of holes. I've still got this sticky residue from the old seal. I'll get some acetone on that and get that off. To the side. Cool. It's okay. It's okay. Cool. Good stuff. All right. My drills are running out. I've got 2 left. Can I get them done? Okay. Done, done, done. Done, done, done. Oh, there's one there. All right. Flattening it out more than anything. It's only soft aluminium, so that's whatever. Okay, we're in. Done. Now we're going to try and clean all this up along here. Now, most of this we can clean up afterwards, but obviously down here, I don't want to cover it up and then be able to get to it. So, and again, where the seal, where it sits on the seal here, getting that surface clean will help prevent any ingress, won't it? Water ingress. Coming up nice. Surface beneath it needs to be smooth so the new seal can stick on. Because I can't stick it to this old stuff, can I? Right, so I think that is enough for the razor blade. And we'll come back in. And we'll come back in with the acetone. I'm not sure you can see that. There's like some sticky residue in here. That all needs to come out. Get that seal, again, get that seal to do its job. Oh, yeah. Ugh. Gummy, gooey, nice. Yeah, if you don't use acetone, guys, make sure you get yourself some, because it's so much easier. I mean, if I didn't have acetone, this would be a pain in the arse because I'd be getting the scouring pad out and everything. Like new now, that like new. Right, this final bit on that sealing surface. So that's all clean now, and this is all about the preparation, isn't it? Because you might think to yourself, "Oh, I won't see that. No one will see that." But you've got to stick that seal back on there, and if it's not clean, it doesn't stick. In 6 months' time, it gets trapped between this and the body, and it rips the seal. You've got to buy a new seal and start all afresh. It's a right ball ache, isn't it? So taking your time, getting it right, job well done, a job worth doing. My old man used to always say, if you're going to do a job, do it properly, or don't bother doing it at all. So I stand by that, and it's worth figuring out how to do these jobs yourself and do them the best way you can. He's also taught me how to be thrifty as well, and learn when to pay money for people that can help you do those jobs that you can't do. So I've always been that kind of way of mind. If I can figure out how to do it myself, get these things done, get it done without splashing the cash, then I can spend money on those things that I can't get help with, like proper engine work, changing the, well, I could probably do it, but changing the clutch on the car if that needed doing, or a head gasket if I didn't have the time. So spending money where you need to spend it. I mean, I spent money on a new hood on the MGB 25 years ago, and that was expensive back then, so I could have taken this to Prestige Auto Trim just like I did back then. But I mean, the value of a car's not really worth it, is it? And the wife may raise an eyebrow or two. So as I said, spend that money where it needs to be spent, not necessarily on things you can do yourself. So good luck. Right, so we're not going to get this done tonight, obviously. So I just want to temporarily clip it to the back, and then I can just cover the window, and we do the rest tomorrow. So there's like this little coin piece of metal here that sits in this corner. That helps it sit under from the bottom of the window. And then you see the seam here goes along. I'm sure you guys can see. Goes along, and then in this gap before the metal steps out. And these sit along here, riveted in those holes. Okay. And then there's this groove here where this bit comes through the groove. And then there's a hole right there where it rivets on. But then we've got the other stuff to go for the window. But I'm just going to put one in for now to hold it in the right place overnight on this side while I put the other side down. This will come out tomorrow. Put it in there. Okay, that's going to hold that. Right, and then as we come down, make sure we're tucked under that pit, that coin type thing. That's going to go in there. Okay, that's going to pull down underneath all that stuff. And then I'll just tuck this in. Let's pull it back a little bit. So you see it's quite nice and taut there. I need to rivet this bit to pull that in. So once we do that, we can check that's all tight. And if these aren't tight, what we'll do, we'll just take the rivet out, make another little hole, and just tighten it up. Make sure there's no lines in it. But from a temporary perspective, that's all right, isn't it? I need to cover that. I don't think it's going to rain tonight, but actually scratch that. Just want to trial fit this glass window. Get that to just sit in there. Nice fit. The zip doesn't work, but if I can clip it, put a few in along the back. Ooh, careful not to break anything. Seriously. Which one's the middle one, gang? Well, the holes are in the right place at least. It's a good start, isn't it? Right. Okay. The zip on the window is shorter than the zip on the roof. So you plug the zip in, it's off a skew width, which means it's come off a different type roof. But if I try to jimmy it, give it some slack, zip it in. Well, let me zip it in now. Got not enough arms for this. Crikey, O'Reilly team. Tell you what, I have to unzip this all the time and do this zip up to lay the window. That's going to be interesting, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Right. That's zipped. Okay. And then oh baby, God, there's a 12 fit team. That's amazing. Still got to get this stuff sorted, haven't I? Pull that in and that in there like that. Get all this tight. Oh my God. That doesn't feel like it's going to go all the way down. Alright guys, welcome back to the next day. Sun is blaring this morning. So I need to take off the trims, don't I? Off the old hood. Get these cleaned up. And then we can put them back on the new one. So it's not in bad shape actually. Some rusting along here. So we'll brush that down and get a bit of paint. So that's one side. I mean, you see the original colour under there. That's quite nice actually under there. But again, this old foam is coming off. It's all crumbled away. Same as the other one, bit of a clean. Right, then we've got this strip that runs along here. So it's obviously bending around the holes. Where... Okay. Oh, right. That's reasonable. Oh, just did a whole lot. Right, so whilst that first coat's drying, I'm just going to give it a bit of a clean while I can. Get into these areas where I can still see old bits of rust from the trim on the previous use of this hood. So I've got some Auto Glim fabric cleaner and protector. So I didn't buy this. Some guy in my village gave it to me. He saw me driving around in the MG, and then he said pop round because he used to have one. Literally just gone to the scrapyard actually. And he had some bits and bobs left over, some brake pads and things. So they're in the garage. So I got to use that, and then he gave me this as well. So I'm going to give this a go. But first things first, there's some hairs on it, so I need to try and get those off. So I've got this kind of squidgy thing, and you can hoover them up. Right, now we're going to go with the cleaner. Right guys, so I've got my hood all cleaned. Looks pretty good. And I've got the metal bits all painted, ready to go on, but not as all as it seems. So you need to modify the hood to enable the glass roof to go down. Because at the moment, I'm trying to put this down and it won't go down. And I'll show you exactly why. Hang on. So it's hard to see the sun. But as I try to lower this bit of material here gets tighter and tighter, and the roof just sits in there, and you can only go so far. It will break the roof if you keep going. So what you have to do, apparently, is this is called the rear bow, the rear support on the roof. And when you fit in a glass roof, you have to detach the hood material from the bow itself. This is currently attached. So as the hood goes down, all the material's moving with this rear bow attached to it. So you've got to detach it such that this piece of material here can slide over and give you more material here to allow the glass to fold in. So I need to figure out how to detach that. Got to unscrew, I think these are 7mm. Unscrew, there's a bit of velvet I've already pulled off here. Some 7mm bolts, I think. Got to unscrew that, and there's a plate comes out the top, and then it should detach the rear bow from the hood. So the zip attaches to it as well. Obviously I can't have the zip attached to it because that'll just hold the glass. Oh, will it? Yeah, I'll just... Yeah, I think it will. I know, me no understand what's going on here. Right, so underneath the velvet strip there's these holes. And then you undo that, and then this little piece of metal here comes away, yeah? That piece of metal is attached to the hood, and then the zip bit is not attached. The zip bit is still attached to the bow. So I've got the hood away from the bow, attached to that piece of metal, and then the zip attached to the bow, and I've still got to remove both. So undo those there. I think at each end I might have to peel that away, and I think there's some rivets on each there. You can see where the marks are for the rivets look along here to get the zip away from it. So let's do that. It's not going to pull the window, is it? But if my zip's not attached to my... Okay. I need to figure out what's going on, because if my zip's not attached to my hood, I need to take the zip off this and then reattach it to the hood in some way. Otherwise I'm not going to be able to pull the window, am I? Interesting. Can I now detach the hood? Oh yeah, look at this seam. Detach the hood over the top. Right, so I've got the zip attached to the frame. I've got a metal strip that I've just unbolted. So attached to the hood. So if I can get that off. Yes. Let's go around the other side. Coolio. Right. So that's off, out of the way. You see now it's loose at the back, and that rear bow moves around. I wonder now, if I zip this back up, will that work? I don't think it will. I think the zip's still attached to the frame, but the material moves. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure, kids. Let's have a look at it and have a go. So the one way to find out, team. I've got loads more hood material. I'm still tight on the window, so that's not going to work. So didn't think it would. So I've got to take that zip off the bow. Interesting. Interesting. And then I guess I've got to rivet those two pieces together. Have I? Probably. Right. Another bit of velvet. Yeah, another screw in there. Boom. Oh, look at that. Wicked! Right, so now I've got this bit zip stripped off, and then I've got the on a piece of metal. Now I need to reattach that to the hood itself. So pull the hood back through. I've just put some cable ties in. Just try it temporarily. And there's good news and there's bad news. Right, so the good news is when you fold down the hood, and you have to pull this bar upwards now. It goes down. And I don't have to unzip the window. That's the good news. So that's the result, yeah? The not so good news is that when you tighten up the hood, it no longer pulls the window tight, and you can see the zip. And the problem there is because obviously this bit now, the bit with the zip on, down too low, isn't it? I've got to pull the strap bar back as well. So I need to bring the zip back up and fasten it back to the hood in that direction. Now the lucky bit is that the zip's actually broken. So already had a new zip, so I need to get that fitted and stitch that in place. My voiceover Craig here, guys, because I had a problem with my sound mic, wasn't working. So the next few scenes didn't have any sound with them. So I'm just going to recap. So in this scene, I'm just trying to figure out what height to put the zip, when I sew the zip into the hood. The problem is where the hood attached to the rear bow, it was folded forward. And now I'm going to attach a zip to it. It's actually going to fold backwards. So when you do that, it changes the location of the material I'm going to attach the zip to. So what I'm doing is putting the hood back together with the bow and the old zip, so I can measure it, so I get it in the right place. So that's what I'm doing in this scene. Right, now I'm coming in with a tape measure. I'm measuring from the zip to the hood. So putting the measure under the flap on the hood so I can figure out where the zip sits in relation to that upper bit of the hood. So when I put the zip back in, I get that height right. Okay, so that's what I'm just checking out there. This was all very time consuming, really, really time consuming actually. Putting it back together, taking it apart, putting it back together, taking it apart, measuring it. But this kind of thing needed to be done, because if I didn't get it right now, then that window, it'll be all over the place, it'll be wonky, and it'll be loose and slack, which obviously would have looked awful. So I was taking my time just to get it right. The next thing I needed to get sorted was the attachment to the rear beam to the frame at the back, because at the moment that beam slides forward on its own. What I want is for that beam to be pulled back when you, pulled tight when you close the hood. So I've got to put these straps on, and they run from the beam itself down to the rear of the frame, which clips into the back of the car. So I'm just drilling a couple of holes, popping a couple of rivets in, took a bit of measuring up, and then I had to pop the rivets in the bottom end to make it all tight. It's a bit fiddly, but you know what this is like. Once it's clipped, I'll then be able to check the tautness of that strap that had gone in, and that was all nice and tight. So job done. Same on the other side, rivets top, rivet bottom, clip it in, and then we've got a nice taut beam. Right, so now I'm pinning the zip into the hood material so I can think about stitching it in. As you can see the chalk mark just above my hands, what I've done is I've marked the middle of the hood and I've marked the middle of the zip in terms of where I want it, like across the car, so I can get it in the right location that way. So I put some pins across the top, and there's a bit of stitching on the bottom of that flap, and I'm using that stitching on the bottom of that flap of the hood as my reference point, so I can follow that to try and keep it level. And I'm just showing you the thread I've got. So it's like a wax coated nylon thread. It's around 1mm thick, and it comes with a big needle. What did I buy it? I think I bought it when I was going to do some sewing carpets or something on the bee. So, but it's going to be really useful and perfect for this job. So, because it's wax coated, it goes through quite easily once it's through, but the needle's quite thick, so it is hard work, and the canvas material itself is quite tough. Right, so here I am now, guys. I'm stitching it in. I mean, this took quite a while. As I said, the material was tough, and one thing I wanted to do was make sure that when I went along, I tied it into itself like every quarter or so. So if it came unstuck or unstitched in one place, it wouldn't just unravel the whole thing. So it just took a while. So it took about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes in the end to get it all done. But I wanted to make sure I got it all nice and neat in there. Right, so now I'm doing the opposite thing. I'm trying to figure out where to put it on the window itself. So you can see there's a few marks on the window as I've zipped it in to the new zip and then marked it exactly where I want it after I put the window in and got it centered. So it was quite strange because when I took it out and I laid the new zip in, because I put the new zip back in and marked that as well, so I could just overlay them, they were slightly different. So it was obviously that the window, when it was inside the car being pulled by the zip, was stretching. So I just had to figure that out. It wasn't too bad. The other thing I needed to get right here was the height. So I put the window in and I reattached everything. And what's happening is that on the left-hand side, so the passenger side, the window was about a centimetre lower. So I've had to put the new zip in with a slight offset on the window bit, so it pulls that side up to make it look level. It just took a bit of time to figure that out. Right, so I sewed this in. Okay, you can see on this side the height as it was. As you move across, got a bit of a change in there, so that should pull this side up, which is good. I tried to use the old Singer to sew it in, but I kept breaking the bloody needle, so the weight of the window kept pulling it sideways, and yeah, it wasn't working. So I had to do it all by hand. It was quite thick, so I needed the old pliers to pull the needle through. That's all done. So let's stick it back in the car and see what it looks like. And I hope we're finished. I've even put the new foam on as well, so it makes it look really good. I think that painted strip, a new bit of foam, yeah, looking fantastic. Really good. Happy with it. I mean, the car's a right mess inside. Look at all that aluminium and rivets. Needs a damn good clean up, that does. Wow, it's taken a long time. Right, I'm all done. It's all riveted back in. Sewing's done. So we put the zip in top, zip in bottom. And now this is good to tighten it up and pray to God it's all level and looks good, because I'm hoping that's finished. Fingers crossed. That's it, guys. Another job done. The roof is fitted and it looks fantastic. We've even given the car a bit of a clean, shined the wheels and hoovered it inside because it was a right state. All that is aluminium pieces have gone everywhere. So yeah, really made up with it. Awesome. Pop down really easily. Push and pull. Make sure the window just touches behind. So nice and simple. So it goes down nice and easy. I have to be careful because the window's sat here and I've got some foam I'll use to sit on the top of it. But you have to kind of squeeze the hood together above the window to get it collapsed a little bit more. But it goes down a little bit more than that, but that's fine for me. Put it back up. It's straightforward as well. You see some of my sewing on the inside, not the prettiest there, but the rest of it's all reasonably fine. And then I think one of my favourite bits is the ability to put the window down. I've not been able to do that. That's gone down nicely. And I even took the zip away under there. It's made it look all snazzy. So I love that look. I really enjoy actually driving around like that with the window down. Particularly going a bit of a distance, because with the roof off you get a bit of buffeting, but I like it like that. Windows down, rear out. Brilliant. Looks fantastic. Car's looking awesome inside. So yeah, awesome. So that's it, guys. Another job done. Brilliant. Fantastic. Next time I'll be going on a bit of a road trip, so hopefully you can join me for that. Not the easiest of jobs, and it's clear you can't just stick a glass window into a normal hood. You've got to do some modifications to get it to work, but you can get it to work it takes a bit of fettling, it takes a bit of trial and error, and you've got to be a bit handy with a needle as well. Yeah, so good job. Right, next time we're going on a road trip. So come along and join me. Let's see how far this £700 car can go without any hiccups or mishaps. So my name's Craig and I'm exhausted.